The second episode of ANDOR went deeper into the title character story, and so in true fashion, I'll be going deeper into the music we're hearing as well. This is Star Wars Music Analysis.
Do it.
The intriguing music begins with the opening title, because while it's still the main theme, the music has changed with this ascending viola or violin line obscuring the melody at first. It's very uncommon for opening title music to change from one episode to another, as it means extra but unnecessary costs, and so I'm left questioning the reason for this variation. Perhaps it's designed to show Andor changing in some way, becoming something different, or maybe it's just Brattel being given the space to have creative fun. In any case, I'm excited to continue following this trend to see where it leads and what it could mean. The music from the opening title segues directly into the opening flashback scene, and the strings begin a tremolo, which is a fast repetition of the same note. This creates an anxiety in the music and the scene without requiring a lot of distracting music, keeping the effect subtle. The music builds and the loudness effectively reflects a young Cassian's overwhelmed sense at the sight of the mine. Be it because it's where the great disaster occurred or because he's never seen anything like it, it's still monumental to him and the loud music helps to convey that. After this, we jump to one of the most interesting scenes to me. It's early morning based on the lighting, and this guy is entering a bell tower. Let's call him Bell Tower Guy. Now, he's striking the hollow metal table that reminds me a lot of a slit or tongue drum, which is a drum where slits separate different sized tabs or tongues that then create different pitches because of the different sizes. Now, he's presumably doing this to signal a specific event, and the pitches being used are great at helping grab someone's attention. The intervals are a perfect fourth up, and then a tritone down. This is interesting because whenever we hear an initial interval of an ascending perfect fourth, like we do here, our brains immediately recognize the upper note as being the tonic or first note of a scale in a standard tonal setting. Let me demonstrate. If we use G and then move up to C, you immediately assume that this upper C is now the place of rest for our ears. If I play a C major scale from here, it already sounds like where we belong. This is all well and good, but when the next interval travels a tritone down, it immediately plays with that perception as it sounds a note not in the scale or tonality that our brains just unconsciously assumed. The note right below that G I played earlier, for example, is F sharp, which is not part of the C major scale. So, our brains immediately go into a frenzy as our notion of where we are in a tonal system is immediately thrown off. This effect would be sure to grab and hold onto someone's attention. And it's likely that he's marking a specific event in time, but this has me curious because people have devices known as chronos to tell time in Star Wars, and they have the technology for droids and holograms, so why not alarm clocks? So, I doubt he's just acting as a clock tower. The ties to early Christian church bell towers is direct here, and he could be signaling a specific time of day that calls people to prayer. And perhaps he's signaling a call to prayer even like what we see from tall towers similar to the Adhan in Muslim tradition. But there's no mention or suggestion of religion anywhere in this episode, which makes this seem like a strange act to occur in an unreligious area. So then I started wondering if maybe this is some sort of signal to tell people when to wake up, when to go to work, maybe when to take lunch, when to go home, and when to go to bed. I'm not really sure, but it seems strange to just have this randomly occur and not give any explanation, and I hope that we do eventually get one. As I hyper-focused on this moment though, I also ended up coming across the same sound from the first episode, near the beginning, right before Cassian goes into the brothel. Check it out and listen closely. So I wonder if this maybe is some sort of corporate or imperial signal to workers that they need to proceed with the next part of their day that we're hearing on different planets. I'd love to hear all of your theories on this as well, or maybe you know something that I don't. As Bix's loser boyfriend sells out Cassian, the espionage music comes back. soft but energetic, and take note of the industrial sound here coming from the dry, electronic drum set paired with the metallic and very resonant tubes. I'm going to contrast this with a different sound later. But as Bix pays her loser boyfriend, Tim Carlo, a visit later, we get this interesting musical cue, and if you listen to the pitches, Britell is making heavy use of the pitch bend function on his keyboard here. It's what gives that shaky and sort of retro sound to the music, and he also uses it with the opening title music as well. I find it an interesting use here as the scene itself is seductive, and the music, with its pitch bends, feels more like some sort of seductive dance as well, putting us into a trance.
B!
Later, as Marva, Cassian's adoptive mother, is looking for the droid B, she comes across Cassian's staff from his youth, and the moment she touches it, the music from the flashbacks begins. That's how we're able to immediately make a connection between this object and Andor's past. The music transports us there almost as if the memory was actually ours to begin with, and this is a great touch by Britell. The music then continues into the actual flashback, and I want to explore this music cue a little more that keeps coming up in variations during these flashback scenes. So, if you listen closely to the chant singing, you'll hear this moment in it where it does a very unique consecutive half-step motion downward. Normally in Western tonal music, we never have consecutive half steps, which is what makes it so noticeable and discernible here. That consecutive half-step motif, or short musical idea, is coming directly from Andor's main theme, and it's how Britell is able to tie all of the different scenes and moments from Andor's life together. The music, while the same, takes on different characters through different instrumentations and textures, but the discernible motifs remain. The final scene of the episode sees Cassian doing his best dramatic stroll through the scrapyard. His theme is already playing, but it turns into this grunge rock sound, and this, to me, is a statement moment. We have never heard, to my best recollection, music like this in Star Wars canon that's just straight rock, and it goes so against the original Williams sound of epic orchestral cues. This is Britell and ultimately director Tony Gilroy demonstrating that they are in control and that this is their work of art, not that of Disney, Lucasfilms, or Kathleen Kennedy, which is in direct opposition to how it seems Kenobi was managed. So, I'm looking forward to the risks, the maneuvers, and the direction that this show will take, because it's breaking down barriers of expectation for future Star Wars content and paving the way for new stories within the galaxy far, far away. But let me know what you think. I'm curious what you all think of Bell Tower Guy, and if this music at the end of episode 2 caught your attention like it did mine. Tell me in the comments below and let me know if I've missed anything. And before you go, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to learn more about the music of a galaxy far, far away. And as always, may the be with you.